Torn review for the PlayStation VR. Let's begin! First up, let's take a look at the gameplay. Torn is an adventure puzzle game that is very story driven. You play as a reporter who has found an abandoned mansion in a forest. The owner has been reported dead for more than 64 years, so when you find out that he isn't, and is stuck inside a machine, you agree to help him, as the story you could write of the events could really advance your career. The main aim is to power up machines that are connected through circuit boards. These circuits are hidden inside the walls and floors of the house, and cannot be seen without the light coming from your torch. Parts of the circuits are missing, and it's your job to fill them in. You do this by picking up objects that contain the correct connection. To move objects, you will be using a gravity gun. You can move objects towards you and from you, which is very useful, especially when a missing connection is high up on a wall or even on a ceiling. When you have slotted in an object or piece of furniture, you can rotate it so that the lines align with one another. Some of the puzzles require you to power up pressure plates. Some do require quite heavy objects to be placed on them. Unlike the other connections, these can be a little finicky, as you can't rotate the objects. Nearly everything inside each room is physics based, so the immersion is very good, but it also creates some annoying moments, especially in the smaller rooms where there is not much space. It's slightly annoying because if an object overlaps you, you cannot move, and you must move the object first. It can be a bit of a hassle. As well as completing all of the circuits in a room, you must also find a certain amount of memories. The amount you need is displayed on the machine. To find memories, you must shine your torch on objects. If the object moves, it has a memory trapped inside it. To release it, you simply grab the object. It's a bit relatable to a hidden object game, but seeing the objects bounce around as if a poltergeist has control of them makes it a fun little addition. When the machine is on, you enter a fantasy-like world, where the owner's memories become visible. This is where you'll learn most about the story, but even in the real world, an orb floats to unique objects in a room and gives a little insight into them, like how he obtained them in the first place. So it really is worth exploring every nook and cranny of each room. There are also tape players found laying around that you can pick up and turn on to listen to some more of the story. The puzzles really are not that difficult at all. It's more about exploring the mansion and finding the correct object combinations. The majority of the puzzles are related to the circuit boards, but there is a few that require different actions. I won't talk about them, as doing so may give away hints. If you do get stuck, you can press a button to emit an orb that tells you where you should be going next. Now let's take a look at how immersive this game is. The graphics can be a little blurry, especially in the open areas. When you first enter the game and see the mansion for the very first time, the environments are really quite blurry, which is a shame as the vegetation has a great variety and is placed in a realistic way. The overgrown area really does make the mansion feel forgotten. The blur is not that bad at all when inside the mansion, as the rooms are a lot more closed in. The detail really is astonishing, and nearly every object in the mansion does have a physics engine attached to it. Of course you can pick them up with your gravity gun, but your hands also have collision detection. The textures are mainly great throughout. The only real lower quality ones are found on some of the books. The writing is barely readable. These don't have to be read to progress though, but it does detract from the immersion slightly. Curtains move realistically and light bounces off them. There is also some tape that can be shredded into smaller pieces. It really is quite incredible. Some doors are locked and you must use your tool to open them. It can be a little finicky at times, but when it has unlocked and you have to push the door open for yourself, the immersion kicks back in. When you enter a new room, you are greeted with some excellent music. I can't play the music for copyright reasons, but trust me when I say it really is amazing. It really does create a sense of wonderment and discovery, and it combines so well with what you are seeing. The voiceovers are superb and really do drive the story forward. Although it's set in a fantasy world, the excellent voiceovers make it all seem quite believable, especially the journalists you play as, thanks to having realistic intentions.
This one has a brain on it.
Charming, eh? You know, Rena kept an actual human brain in her office. Got it from medical school. Our theory was that things get trapped in the mind. The mind becomes a sort of prison. A trained professional could go in there and set the patient free. Doctors could enter the minds of comatose patients, heal from the inside out.
What is going on here? I've got to get a picture of him for the blog.
Now let's take a look at the setup and what controllers the game supports. I played this game in a seated position just under 2 meters away from the camera. The head tracking was fine and the game did not make me motion sick. Although I did play seated for the majority of the game, there are moments when you will have to stand to reach things that are closer to the ground, so it is best to stand. This game requires 2 move controllers to play. The other controllers are not supported. To move around the world you can either teleport or move freely. Unfortunately, there is only snap turning. The game does support left-handed play, as you can simply pick up the tool with your other hand. When beginning the game, you can select from 3 save files, which is great for families who want to keep their own separate progression. Now let's take a look at the length of the game and what trophies come with it. It took me around 4 to 5 hours to beat the game, but I was messing around with the physics engine for a little while, so you can take a little time off because of that. In total there are 16 trophies that can be achieved. There is 15 bronze and 1 gold. Most of the trophies were unlocked naturally whilst playing through the game, but there is some related to finding all of the memories in each room. The machines always tell you how many are remaining in each room, so getting all of them shouldn't be too hard to do. And now it's time for the verdict. The world is incredibly realised, and it honestly does feel like a real mansion, even with the wonderfully strange machines that are scattered around everywhere. It is one of the best and most detailed mansions I have explored in VR. The puzzles can become a little tedious, as they do play out the same in most of the rooms. The only real challenge comes from searching for the correct objects, but the mysterious story surrounding the owner of the mansion kept me wanting to progress and see more. The fact that you have to shine a torch on the walls and follow the circuits really does make exploration so much fun and gives you a sense of discovery. It really forces you to take in your surroundings a lot more. This really is one of the best story-driven games on the PSVR. It has a story that you do want to listen to, and it progresses at a very steady pace, and has some quite interesting discussions about human consciousness. Some annoyance with the physics engine do get in the way of the game being a completely fluid experience throughout, but overall it's a magical adventure that is grounded in reality. It's certainly a puzzle game that fans of the genre should check out.
Invading someone's mind like that? How is that okay?
Don't knock it till you try it, my dear. You should go. We'll talk more later.
If you need a place for your beat to sit, check out the generic VR stand on gearbest.com. The box includes a few parts that easily slot and push together to make the stand. It really does only take a few seconds to fully assemble. These parts have a great smooth finish to them, due to the protective covering they come in that prevents scratches and scuffs. The legs are very sturdy, and the small shelf your headset sits on has a couple of smooth ridges that hold the headset in place, so there is no fear of your headset falling and getting damaged. It comes in black, which combines well when placed next to the PS4, and the headset lifts off with ease when you need to get into a virtual world quickly. If you want to see more of the generic VR stand, you can find links in the description of this video.